Hello everybody, welcome to the shop. In this episode I want to just bring you up to date on some things that have been going on around here in the shop. Now, some of you may know and some of you may not know that last year, 2015, while I was attending the Bar Z Summer Bash, a large tree fell out of the neighbor's yard on top of the shop. Did a considerable amount of damage. I've had to operate with a blue tarp on the roof for quite some time now, but I am happy to announce that I now have a brand new 130 mile an hour rated roof on the shop, and it's sealed up watertight again, and all of the damage has been repaired. Something else you may not know about the shop is this shop has to actually serve as my barn. So at night, I have to fit everything inside this building, and it's a tight fit. In this shop, I have to fit a full-size M-frame Kubota tractor with the loader, an L-series Kubota tractor with a finish mower, a Kawasaki mule side-by-side, 2 four-wheelers, 2 pull-in tractors, a wagon, a tricycle, and a partridge in a pear tree. The reason I tell you that is I've been saving my pennies for quite a while now, and I have got to a point where I can start to build my barn. I'm very excited to announce that the barn is coming up out of the ground. It's been much needed here on the Bollinger farm. I've got my little helper for the day, and we're going to do a little work out here. And basically we have the barn right here. It's going to be a center bay of 40 feet wide, 50 feet deep. So I'm using trusses to span it. There's a 12-foot lean-tos on each side. They're about 12 feet wide inside, 50 feet deep also. Total barn dimension will be 64 feet wide, 50 feet deep. Center section will have a 14-foot ceiling, maybe a 13.6, I haven't decided. That pole back there, that big tall pole, is just a temporary. When I set the first truss to tie it to that, to help hold it till we get a bunch of the trusses set and tied together. This is where my metal rack is gonna go for all my raw materials. You can see the poles on the outside are spanned 25 feet apart. I'm having girder trusses made to go in there to make that span. It's actually a double girder truss. This brush will all eventually be gone, and I'll be able to pull the tractor right in here and load straight into the metal rack on the sides. And you can see somebody has already started their construction site here. Floor of the shop will be a dirt floor. It's actually clay, and it was all nice and box bladed to grade until we had the tractors in here working after the rainstorm, which got a little bit ugly, but we'll be able to grade it back out one more time, hopefully get some rain on it before we put the metal on the roof. The floor is actually very, very hard once you rain on it, which is nice. It packs down real hard, and it sure beats a sandy Florida barn floor. It's just gonna be a pole barn, no sides, at least no plans for sides right now. Now, when I designed the barn, I designed it in such a way not only to house all of the tractors and equipment, the bush hogs, plows, disc harrows, fertilizer spreaders, and all the things that we use around here on the property on a regular basis, but I also designed it with lean-tos off each side. And one of those lean-tos is designed so that I can drive in there with a 25-foot stick of material and load it right onto a material rack. So one whole side of the barn is going to be nothing but raw material storage for my steel, stainless steel, aluminum, sheet goods, lumber, all of that stuff. And it takes a tremendous load off me because, to be quite honest, the only place I have to keep it is out in the weather. And as you know, that's not great for steel. A couple other exciting things that have been going on here in the shop. I've gotten a couple of gifts here from some friends, and I want us to take a couple of minutes and talk to you about them. Now, the first one comes from Randy Richard. If you can look down in the bottom, you'll see the link to Randy Richard's YouTube page. And Randy Richard and I have become friends, and we've done a little horse trading back and forth. And Randy sent me a couple things in appreciation. The first one he sent me. This is a dovetail cutter, and it goes in my milling machine for cutting dovetails. Randy makes these from scratch. I love tools that people make themselves. The thing that's really neat about this dovetail cutter is that he designed it in such a way that we can use a carbide insert in it, and it never needs to be sharpened. Every time the carbide insert wears out, we just either turn the insert over or we replace it once we've turned it over so many times. I'm really excited. I've actually got a project for this. The barn's been taking up a lot of my time. I can't wait to use this tool. This is unbelievably good workmanship, and I thank Randy tons for it. Now, in addition to that, I told Randy that I really wanted one of his carbide scribes that he was building. Now, I don't know if you've ever seen one of Randy's carbide scribes. What this is, he sent this to me. It's beautifully handmade, and it's engraved with a serial number. It says made by Randy Richards in the shop for Jim Bollinger, Do-Rite Fabrication. Pretty awesome. It screws apart, screws together for doing layout work. Now, he didn't send it with a clip on it. I'm going to get a clip for it, but when you have it folded up, you can stick it in your breast pocket, and that way you don't have to always be looking for your carbide scribe. This is a beautifully made tool, and I will treasure it for many, many years. And if you come to my shop and you try to leave with this, bad things might happen. All right, now the next thing I want to share with you comes from a very close friend of mine, Dale Derry from Metal Tips and Tricks. There'll be a link down below for Dale's YouTube channel. Be sure to check him out if you haven't already subscribed to him. A while ago, Dale did a series, I'm going to try to put a card up there for the series, on building a tramming tool. And I was talking to Dale and telling him how much I enjoyed the series, and Dale came down here recently and brought a gift with him. This is a handmade tramming tool for my mill or my drill press. Now, if you're not familiar with what this does, this goes in the chuck or in the R8 collet, and it allows you to check multiple positions and see how much the head is out of square with the table. This is a beautifully made tool. I really, really like these black gauges with the orange indicators on them. I'm so happy to have it. I will say thank you to also Dale. He knows how much I like handmade tools. All right, the next thing, I gotta admit, I don't really know how to say thank you other than just to say thank you. I told you that last year I went to the Bar Z Summer Bash in El Rancho Cucamonga, California as a YouTube creator. This year I've been asked to return, happily. It's a great time. And anyone who was a YouTube creator that was going out there was sent a gift pack from Seco Niagara Tool. And they asked us to open it on camera, but I gotta be honest, I was a little busy and it was just killing me to see what was in the box, so I peeked. And the letter is from a gentleman named Dennis Nolan. He's the senior design engineer for Niagara Cutter. And if you've watched some of the other guys' YouTube channels, everybody got a little something different. And I gotta be honest, I'm a little speechless. And basically what he wanted to do is to thank everyone's efforts for the continuing education that we try to provide, teaching folks the trade that we have, what we know, and spreading it out there amongst all the other people who want to learn about machining, welding, fabricating, and that means a lot. I will say, Dennis, thank you very much. Thank you, Seco Niagara Tools. I really appreciate it. I'm going to share something with you. I have never owned a new end mill in my life. Every end mill I've ever owned has been used, that I've been able to buy at a swap meet, garage sale, or came with some piece of equipment that I bought. So I am super excited to have new tooling. Now, he sent a big box of stuff. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it all out on the table, and then we're gonna go through it. All right, well, what you see before me is quite a haul for me. Like I shared with you before, I've never owned a new end mill ever. So it's quite humbling for me to get so many new end mills at one time. And some of these are carbide end mills, which are very expensive. Dennis, thank you very, very much. Seco Niagara and all the big bosses, I appreciate it, and we'll put them to good use and teaching people the skill in the trade of fabricating and building, machining. Let's talk about them real quick. First off, there's a couple of combination packs. They have a little bit different finishes on them, but they're kind of like a sample pack. It has quarter, 5/8, 3/8, 5/16, half, and 3/16. That's like a roughing end mill. Man, is that pretty. These things are razor sharp. Wow. That's awesome. Also included was a sample pack, and These are all different flute designs and different coatings that are on them. This one is a 5 flute, 4 flute, 3 flute, 3 flute, and a 4 flute. All these cutters, a couple of them I want to point out. Look at the scallop design. It's beautiful and razor sharp. All of these end mills that are right here are all carbide end mills. It means they're made of carbide. They're very hard and they can cut hard materials well with them. This is a ball end mill for the ball end on it. This big boy, I'm going to probably have to get an R8 adapter for this thing. This is a 1-inch carbide 3 flute. Very, very heavy because it's carbide. Razor sharp. This is a 4 flute end mill, carbide, also razor sharp. Now, he sent a bunch of inserts. I don't have very many carbide insert holders. He sent several different ones here. But what he did send, and I'm very excited about, is this. Still got the packing oil on it. But this is an insert holder. One of these goes in there for the lathe, and it's a right hand. We're cutting in the right hand direction. Beautiful. 1 inch. 1 inch is about the capacity of my lathe as far as the Ellis tool post that I have. The Ellis style post won't take anything over 1 inch. So Dennis, Nolan, all the folks at Seco and Niagara Cutter, thank you so much. We'll put them to use here in the future. I've got a couple of projects in mind here that now I have to kind of rethink the project a little bit. Thanks for supporting the Bar Z Summer Bash, but also for the continuing education that we as YouTube creators try to pass along to everybody. Okay, the last thing I want to talk to you about, you possibly saw the promo video that Dale Derry and I did here in the shop to promote the Bar Z Summer Bash. Here's one more quick note on it. This thing is really ramping up. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's June 25th in El Rancho, Cucamonga, California. Down below, I'll put a link to Stan's channel. He's put out a video on how to RSVP. Listen, this thing is pretty amazing. With the exception of a few, the major machining, fabricating YouTube creators are all there at one time. You get to hang out with them, talk to them, meet them, ask them questions, give them ideas, learn from them. There's going to be classes going on throughout the day. I'm going to be teaching the fundamentals of TIG welding. Bruce Whitham is going to be teaching getter out, how to get broken bolts, taps, that sort of thing out. Keith Fenner is going to be teaching the flame straightening on a right roller kit and how to get a shaft straight that's been bent with the right roller kit. And I know there's a lot of other stuff going on. Also, giveaways, huge giveaways. Seco Niagara Tools, Empire Abrasives, Lincoln Electric, Little Machine Shop, Drill Hog, and on and on and on and off. Hall sent boxes and boxes of stuff. Last year we did a giveaway every 15 minutes. Sounds like this year we're gonna have to do like blitzes of giveaways just to give the stuff away out throughout the day. It's all done on a raffle basis. Buy one ticket, buy 100. Hopefully you'll win lots and lots of stuff for your carry-on luggage. Fly in, fly out. If you plan ahead now, the tickets are not that expensive. You can get there, hang out for the day, have a good time, and be home before work on Monday. And with that, we'll see you real soon. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed what you saw here today. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and like us on Facebook. Please, somewhere down below here is a link. See you soon.